Narrator: Samsung has come a long way since its early days in the mobile phone industry. Today, it's one of the biggest players in the game, with a diverse range of smartphones that cater to a variety of budgets and needs. But how did Samsung get here? Let's take a look at the evolution of Samsung Mobile.
Narrator: The Galaxy S was Samsung's first serious foray into the world of smartphones, and it made a big impact. With a 4-inch touchscreen display, a 1 GHz processor, and 512 MB of RAM, the Galaxy S was a powerhouse at the time. It also introduced Samsung's now famous TouchWiz interface, which would go on to become a staple of the company's smartphone lineup. Narrator: The Galaxy S2 built on the success of its predecessor, with a larger 4.3-inch display, a faster processor, and an improved camera. It was also the first Samsung phone to feature 4G LTE connectivity, which was still a relatively new technology at the time. Narrator: The Galaxy S3 was a game-changer for Samsung. With a 4.8-inch display, a quad-core processor, and 2 GB of RAM, it was one of the most powerful smartphones of its time. It also introduced a number of new features, such as S-Voice, Samsung's answer to Siri, and Smart Stay, which kept the screen on as long as you were looking at it. Narrator: The Galaxy S4 was a refinement of the Galaxy S3, with a larger 5-inch display, a faster processor, and a better camera. It also introduced a number of new features, such as AirView, which allowed you to preview content without touching the screen, and AirGesture, which allowed you to control the phone with hand gestures. Narrator: The Galaxy S5 was a departure from Samsung's previous design language, with a more premium look and feel. It also introduced a number of new features, such as a fingerprint scanner and a heart rate monitor. However, it was criticized for not being as innovative as previous Samsung phones. Narrator: The Galaxy S6 was a major departure for Samsung, with a completely redesigned metal and glass body. It also introduced a number of new features, such as wireless charging and a more powerful camera. However, it was criticized for removing the removable battery and expandable storage that had been a staple of previous Samsung phones. Narrator: The Galaxy S7 was a refinement of the Galaxy S6, with a number of improvements to the design and features. It also introduced water resistance, which had previously been reserved for Samsung's active lineup. Narrator: The Galaxy S8 was a major departure for Samsung, with an almost bezel-less design that made the phone feel like a window into the digital world. It also introduced a number of new features, such as a virtual assistant,